First, there have been many rumors swirling about the internet over the past couple of days. I didn't really want to address this yesterday or even the day before because there were still just smaller rumors. However, as of this morning, multiple bigger news outlets started to actually pick up this story about how there's a possible $7,000 stimulus check that's going to come on August 19th. That's in 3 days, on Thursday. I want to just break this down. First, this story is not true. The Biden administration has not passed a stimulus check. They have not passed even an infrastructure package. That has only passed through the Senate. The House hasn't voted on anything. The House isn't even in session. The Biden administration, they haven't really discussed a possible stimulus check or a fourth stimulus check. And something at $7,000, that's not going to happen. Okay? Now, the reason why a lot of this is coming out is mainly because there's a large group of websites and people, obviously, but a large group of websites that believe that this Thursday, former President Donald Trump will be coming back into office. That President Biden is just gonna, vacate his position. I don't see that happening. However, there's always a possibility, right? There's possibilities are endless right now. But what you need to understand is that this is not true. The $7,000 stimulus check or up to $7,000 in stimulus is not true. This isn't going to happen on Thursday, okay? Could this happen later on? It could. But here's what you need to keep in mind. Democrats over the weekend have started to push for additional stimulus checks. Many Democrats are worried that this Delta variant is going to cause even more lockdowns throughout the entire United States. And here's what you need to understand. The more lockdowns we see, the more the American people are going to require additional assistance, more stimulus to help them pay for food, buy essentials, pay for medication, pay for rent, just keep up with their bills. Because if they're locked down, they can't go into work, and it kind of just snowballs from there. Well, while staying locked down for some time, remember, okay, what we're going to see is lawmakers or experts are going to come out and say, this Delta variant, this is starting to really surge in certain areas. We should lock down for like 2 weeks. Well, I understand the principles behind it. I understand why a lockdown is beneficial for some. It helps decrease the numbers. And as the numbers decrease, it makes it easier so that not the spread isn't going to be so rapid. And that makes sense. Here's the problem. Last year, we were asked to lock down for 2 weeks. That was last year. And like a month, 2 months later, we were still seeing lockdowns. Even months later, California was still seeing several lockdowns. Do not go to gyms. Do not go to restaurants. No indoor dining. Movie theaters were closed. I actually was over in an area just north of Seattle this weekend, and I remember this movie theater was just closed down, look abandoned. Okay, it seriously look abandoned. And I went there this weekend, first time I've been there in probably a few months, and the movie theater was back open. And I thought that was incredible. I was loving just seeing that because the movie theater was back. And that's something that a lot of people don't want to see is we go back to a lockdown. We see so many businesses just hurt. The American people are suffering because the people working in those businesses, they're let go. They're on unemployment. Well, if unemployment expires on September 6th, which is a couple weeks, 3 weeks away, 1, 2, 3 weeks from today. Yeah. If unemployment expires 3 weeks from today, but yet we're going on another lockdown and Congress doesn't pass something to extend the unemployment benefits for long-term unemployment, for unemployment assistance for gig workers and self-employed, and regardless whether they extend the $300 per week boost or not, if people cannot get just the basic state unemployment benefits, this is where many lawmakers are saying we need additional assistance. Experts say that we could easily be in this for another 1 year. So some are saying that don't rule this out. Don't expect that, okay, once we get through this summer is technically over, because that's what we were saying last year is we're going to be in this for 1 more year. Well, we're still in it anytime soon because we have to wear masks, we have to social distance, all things that are very difficult to do. So we will see. But yes, what we're going to see over the next few weeks, we're going to see more proposals coming out, pushing for additional stimulus. Whether it's a stimulus check, an earned income tax credit, an increase to the child tax credit, or maybe an amendment to that child tax credit, we're going to see more stimulus. The $2,000 stimulus checks, the talks of those, they're coming back. That campaign that has about 3 million signatures, well, that's going to be pushed very hard once it gets to 3 million, according to multiple lawmakers. The $2,000 stimulus checks, some say this is going to be the starting point. It's going to be $2,000 or more, but it will be limited to who gets it. Others are saying that everybody that received the $1,400 stimulus checks, they should get the next round, the fourth round of stimulus checks. But if they do, according to multiple Senate aides, then this would go out to less people, and it would be possibly less than $1,000 each. So let me just ask you, which option would you prefer? $2,000 plus to a limited amount of Americans that are struggling at this time, and this would be a one-time payment, or a $1,000 stimulus check to every single person that qualified for the past $1,400 checks. Bipartisanship, which I know the whole bill will not be a bipartisan bill, but we can see certain pieces of legislation have some type of bipartisan agreement in there. And if we do, according to multiple reports, Republicans are open to a $2,000 one-time payment to the hardest hit individuals. However, how many people would that be? Some are expecting it to be anywhere between 25 and 50 million people. It will not be over 100 million people like last time. So if that's the case, most expect it would be a $2,000 one-time stimulus check. It would go to the hardest hit individuals and those that are making under, most likely, $50,000. So it's going to be different, but we will see. But also keep in mind, in order to see any stimulus whatsoever, anything, in order to see 2 free years of community college, yes, I did say 2 free years. What we're seeing is that currently the bill is capped at 2 years of community college. Here's what you need to understand. The way it is written is 2 years of community college. It doesn't go off credits, okay? It's not going off of, oh, I only went to college part-time, so I can only do technically 1 year of community college because it took me, twice as long. So what we're seeing right now is it's capped at 2 years. This is where we're going to see some amendments. We're going to see that, okay, 2 years might not be long enough. People that are trying to go to community college, maybe there's some older people, some adults, right? They're obviously mostly adults, but some people that have families, have full-time jobs, can't just go to college full-time. What we're seeing is we could see amendments, or at least talks right now that are coming out, is that we're going to see amendments where this is going to be adjusted so more people could potentially go. Now, if we want to see the expanded Medicare, this is going from 65 down to 60, include vision, dental, and hearing. We all see the extension of the child tax credit payments, child care, elder care, nutrition assistance, and so much more. We first have to see that $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill pass. It hasn't passed. It's only gone through the Senate. The House hasn't even voted on it. The House is expected to come back on the next week, actually. Yeah, next week. They're expected to come back sometime and vote. Not on the $1.2 trillion bill. The House is expected to come back and vote on the $3.5 trillion budget resolution with reconciliation instructions. That's what Nancy Pelosi is wanting the House to come back for. However, at this time, currently Nancy Pelosi is suggesting that the bipartisan bill and the budget reconciliation bill pass together. They are connected and linked. But according to President Biden, he said a couple months ago that no, the $1.2 trillion bill and the $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill are not linked together. They are separate bills they can pass on their own. But Nancy Pelosi said, no, let's keep them together. Well, what we know is that she has asked the House committees to do just that. She asked them through a letter that we actually read yesterday, but now 9 House moderates, and this is the reports that we got last week as well, now 9 House moderates, moderate Democrats, want to see the bipartisan bill pass into law first. They want to see this pass into law first before they will even consider voting on that $3.5 trillion stimulus package. But according to a couple reports this morning, Democrats could easily entice this group by giving them some sort of kickback, by giving them some sort of additional benefit from or inside that $3.5 trillion bill in order to prevent them from holding out. So it's possible, but experts say this is going to be the big fight this week. It's going to be the fight this week because Nancy Pelosi needs to ensure that the House of Representatives has the votes needed to pass the $3.5 trillion budget resolution first. She's not going to call them back, have everyone come back for a vote if it's just going to look bad and they do not have the support. So this is what the House Whip is going to do. Try to get the numbers, see if everybody's on board. If they are, then she will call them back. If they do not have the numbers, just expect this will simply be delayed or pushed back maybe 1 to 2 weeks until they actually have the numbers.